Hello everyone, it is your DJ for life, and I am coming to you from St. Augustine, Florida, and over here by the trolley tour that they have. St. Augustine is on the east side of Florida, so if you're here you'd be able to see some really nice sunrises in the morning if you're an early bird. But being an early bird would probably be better than being a jailbird right here on this chain gang that you see here behind me. And probably can hear some of the songs that they're saying, or some of the songs that they're singing. So today we are going to just do a trip on the trolley, actually. I recommend, if you're here, to take the trolley all the way around. It stops at 22 different stops, so then you'd be able to see all the different places that they point out, the points of interest there, and then you'll know which ones you want to go to the next time. So the pass that I got was a 2-day trolley pass, so I'll be able to go on that tomorrow as well and see some things, stop at some of the places that I found on the trip from today, and hopefully get some more information here about St. Augustine's history. Let's go ahead and take a look here outside of the train trolley tours. As I mentioned here before, we have the chain gang. They're chipping away at some rocks, making someone some pebbles or something. And then we have the old jail right here. This is a jail on wheels. It says here in 1877, the governor of Florida instituted a convict leasing program to make money for the state. The program required road crews to be moved and housed. Mule-pulled jail wagons provided both secure, though miserable, housing for transport. And in this heat and this humidity, I would not want to be transported in this. I'm sure that'd be even hotter since it's black. And then over here we have a replica of one of the trolley tour buses. They actually don't look like this when you're in them. They have different kind of seating. So this one here might have been one of the older ones that they don't use anymore. But here you can see their website, visit it, trolleytours.com, see what packages they offer. They offer quite a few different ones. Some of them include haunted tours, some of them include like the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, some of the other different attractions around here, Fountain of Youth, the Castillo de San Marco, and some of the other different attractions. So they'll have offers if you buy them in a bundle, and they could change from what they have today, but I'll include the link and you can take a look at it. Let's go in here into the old town of St. Augustine and take one of their trolleys. And here we are on the trolley. They leave about every 15 minutes or so, and they recommend to go all the way around and do the whole tour, come back to where you started, and then from there you can go again, because you can ride it as many times as you want through the day and get on and off as often as you want. And then on your second time around, you'll be able to kind of know which areas you want to stop at and be interested in. So the guy actually doing the tour right now, I met before, and he's the one that showed me around in the museum that we're just in, the oldest store, or not the oldest store museum, but the history museum of St. Augustine. So, and here we go.
All aboard. We're off. 22 St. Augustine, folks. My name is Chip, like potato chip, and I'll be your guide.
So take us all the way around. 22 points of interest along the way. I'll try and show quite a few of them. Probably won't show them all because that probably would get kind of boring.
Right, in the parking lot here, you'll see the old jail trolley, if you will. If you were a guest of Joe Perry, Sheriff Joe Perry at the old jail, Joe Perry came up with this concept of the chain gang, right? So in Florida, if you were in jail here in St. Augustine with Joe Perry, the sheriff, he would rent you out for hard labor. Henry Flagler was building railroads and hotels, and he needed labor. So you get locked up in that cart, they attach you to a horse, take you to your work site. Now that work site could be a day, a week, a month. It didn't matter. You lived in that cart the whole time. That's the Talamanca Catholic Cemetery.
Right here they said it is the oldest cemetery in America.
They had a separate cemetery for the Huguenots or Protestants. Talamanca is the oldest cemetery, also the most haunted. If you want to learn more about that, look at the sign on your right. Our ghost and gravestone tours occur nightly.
And here they have different tours that you can see. And then this is the Potter's Wax
Please wait
Museum.
for the bell to toll for moving.
There we go. Yep. All right.
Stop number 5 is our colonial quarter. I refer to it as a living history museum. Once you step inside the colonial quarter, everyone's in the period dress. And you can visit them in their home or in the blacksmith shop. Quite an experience. The colonial quarter, stop number 5. About a half a block from 5, so this is location right over the right. This is the Pirates and Treasure Museum. They've got an actual ancient. If you're a big fan of good ice cream, you'll find that here as well. Stop 5, Colonial Quarter. Stop number 8 is the Flagler Memorial Presbyterian Church that he built in their memory. Both Jenny Louise and Marjorie are buried here. Marjorie in Jenny Louise's arms. Mr. Flagler's buried here, along with his first wife, Mary, also. Stop number 8. Somebody on her off? Beautiful Sir College on your right-hand side. This was the Ponce de Leon Grand Hotel. You see the smokestack or chimney there on your right? You see, Mr. Flagler wanted electricity for the Ponce de Leon Hotel. Electricity was a new fangled item back then. The Washington, D.C. White House did not have electricity when Mr. Flagler wanted it. He called his good buddy Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison designed generators that were installed in this building on your right. Those two generators are now in the Smithsonian. So the Ponce de Leon Hotel did in fact have electricity in 1889. Y'all ready to go have a drink? Yep. All right. Stop number 11 is the St. Augustine Distillery. They offer free tours and free taxis. The back part of this parking lot was where you take bicycle lessons. Yes, you had to have lessons. You had to have a license to ride a bicycle in St. Augustine. Why? Because the bicycles at the turn of the century were a little bit more difficult to ride than the ones we have today. You may have seen them in cartoons and other old photographs, one big wheel and one little wheel. That model was called the Skull Cracker, actually. That was the nickname, was the Skull Cracker. You can see those bicycles, a couple different models, at our oldest store museum, at stop number 1, where we always end up after the 26 stop tour. They give you samples. They've got whiskey, handcrafted whiskey, vodka, rum, and gin. Very nice product, by the way. Their flavors, it's a really great distillery. The old ice plant truck from the 1950s sitting here. My grandpa had a delivery truck just like that. He used to deliver his products to the hills of Georgia. It wasn't ice, but you could pour it on ice. Grandma hates when I tell that story, so don't tell her. Ski rum, gin and vodka, handmade. St. Augustine Distillery, stout number 11. Please wait for the bell before disembarking or boarding the trolley at all times. Yes, Paul Stillion was not a tall man. He was 4 feet 11 inches tall. They say that in the 1500s, that was really tall. I guess they didn't have meetings. I don't know. I could stay you in love. We'll be with you forever. And ever. And ever. And ever. And ever. And ever.
Whether you want it
And
or
ever.
not.
Forever. It's a mighty long time. So be careful who you kiss beneath the love tree. Lady the other day told me that it was 40 years ago that she kissed her son beneath this tree. He was sitting right next to her on that trolley. Hadn't ever left home. Nothing. Forever. Careful. All right, close to be found. This is a bunch of live oaks. But they're beautiful, and they're arched over the street because of the winds off the bay. And that caused that. They're dripping in Spanish moss, which is neither Spanish nor a moss. It's actually related to pineapple. There's also resurrection fern growing all throughout. Now when it rains just a little bit, that fern just pops out green all over into the side of these trees. It's even more beautiful when it's like that. Just a little drizzle is all it takes. Stop 22 on a 22-stop tour is Fountain View. 16 acres. A lot to see, a lot to do. There's peacocks roaming the grounds. One of them likes to buoy me. Stops and stands in front of my trolley and fans his beautiful feathers out, and he just starts hollering at me. Won't move. I can ring the bell, one of them forward. He just stands there. Trying to tell me something, I just haven't figured it out yet. Fountain View Park, America's first colony, village of Sonoy, with the Chippewa Indians. This was their home. You can drink from the fountain for free. I've been drinking from the Fountain View here for since I was 20 years old, that's right. It was 1805.
And there you have it. There was the trolley tour. I didn't speak on the trolley tour only because there was someone actually giving a tour to it, and I didn't want to talk over them, and other people wouldn't be able to kind of listen to the actual guide on there. So hopefully you can hear what was actually said on the tour. The guy that I went with, his name was Chip. And he is the one that also gave me some tips for inside the old history museum there. So I enjoyed it, and I'll probably have someone else another time. The full tour takes about, I think it was about an hour and a half or so to do all 22 stops. The ones that I kind of liked were 7, 11, 13, and 18, and those are on the map that you get, and so you'd be able to see what they are. One's a distillery, one was Ripley's Believe It or Not, another one was a chocolate place. They give free samples there, and then 11, I think that's the one that would be kind of downtown, so you could get off and you'd see a bunch of different places if you get off at that one. And like I said before, they run about every 15 minutes or so. You'd be able to catch one pretty quick. They stop at 4:30, I think it recommends, to get on your last trolley around that time. So if you can, that would be ideal. I still have the old store museum, the old jail, and one other spot here to see that I can't think of right now. I actually just got done eating lunch at that Gator Bob's place, and it was pretty good. I got nachos and a chicken sandwich. Good food, you know, good price. So if you're here, definitely feel free to check that out. I recommend it. So thank you for joining me on this adventure, and feel free to check out my other videos. I have one of the Minnesota State Fair. I also have one for South Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, a few different attractions in those states. As of the recording of this, right now I don't have the one in South Dakota and Wyoming up. I'm still working, you know, trying to edit the videos when I can. The state fair and the ones in Nebraska are up, but yeah, like I said, feel free, check those out and join me on the next adventure.